Hey guys, this is Chuck. I wanted to kind of give you a little rundown on our two farms we've got. We've got one here in the back of our Darien location, and then we've also got another farm in Hickory Hills that we grow all of our bigger stuff. In Darien, we grow all of our small stuff like lettuces, things like that. Things that need a lot of maintenance. It's all raised beds. We've got 48 beds. They're up by 16 feet each, and we're irrigated. I'll give you a quick kind of rundown on what we got basically. Back here we've got all of our tomatoes and stuff. There's asparagus in the very back, and then tons of different Brussels sprouts, herbs, cucumbers, all sorts of lettuces. We've got I think 7 or 8 different kinds of lettuces. We've got in these beds here we're doing all of our these are like greens, different kinds of lettuces and greens, collard greens, and these are red mustard greens, and then different kinds of red romaines and oak leaf lettuces, and then sugar snap peas along this fence, and then all these taller things are the weeds that we serve at the restaurant. This is called colites, and you'll see them on our menu as Mexican greens. You can always tell by the little powdery substance at the top of them, on top of the leaves. They look like they got a little powder on them, and that's the colites, kind of like a little Christmas tree looking leaf. And we've got tons of those, and we use them for all sorts of soups, and we'll do little quesadillas with they call them quesadillas de asalgas, which is means greens. And then we've got all sorts of beets. I'll give you a quick rundown over here. These are all beets here. This is all onions and radishes, this is one of the radishes I just got done picking. The radishes are ready, and that's the gist of this one. We'll come back and do a little more in depth in a minute. Thanks. Hey guys, this is Chuck. I'm going to give you kind of a little rundown of our whole Darien garden, what we're growing out here. These 4 beds here are all this is our second year of our asparagus. This year we're just letting it basically go to seed again, so it'll spread a little more. We've got mostly male plants, but some of these do have seeds, which means that they're a female plant. We're hoping to be able to pick pretty heavy next year at our Hickory location. When we go over there, you'll see we got a really lot of asparagus growing good there. All along here is all of our tomato beds, but in front of the tomato beds we're doing nasturtiums, which you can eat the flowers and the leaves. The leaves are also unedible. It's got kind of a lemony flavor, almost radishy lemony flavor. Really tasty. So we'll be able to use those in salads and also decorate with the leaves. And then we've got all our tomatoes sandwiched between 2 rows of this cow fencing, which is like a galvanized fencing. And then the tomatoes will just kind of grow in the middle, and kind of we'll be able to pull them through as they're growing, so that they kind of don't get, they'll have some nice support. And then through here, this is all from last year. We got all this cilantro coming up from last year. That's just the seeds didn't sprout last year, and they're coming up this year, and they kind of went to seed, and now we've got a ton of cilantro growing up here. All these are all different kinds of tomatoes. We're doing purple beefsteak, red beefsteak, white beefsteak. We got purple cherry tomatoes, yellow teardrop tomatoes, and purple teardrop tomatoes, if I didn't say that. And then once again, on the backs of some of these beds, we've if it's something that doesn't need a lot of sun, we'll plant some stuff in the back of these beds. Here's a bunch of spinach that's starting to come up here. More tomatoes. In front here we got something called cow tongue lettuce, or also they'll call it relic, which is a brand of lettuce. It's almost like a leaf lettuce type of thing. And then more tomatoes. As you can see, there's more of our colites kind of growing up next to it, which we're probably going to pull those because they're too close to our other plants. But they grow like a weed. Well, they are weeds. They grow like weeds. Also, in these beds, this one we haven't planted yet, but up in front here we've got all of our cucumbers on this fence here. We've got a couple fences full of cucumbers. We're doing little pickled cucumbers, and then also some seedless, long seedless type English style cucumber. And then over here is our zucchinis. We've got a few beds of zucchinis, and we got a ton at the other farm, which already have some zucchinis on them now. We've got some little baby zucchinis. I would say within a couple days we'll be serving some zucchinis. And then going back over on this side, we've got some more lettuces. This really didn't pop up too good. This is a Lola Rosa. It's a type of a red leaf lettuce. And back here you got more zucchinis and squash. And then this is over here is going to be different kinds of Brussels sprouts. We did a lot of Brussels sprouts. I'm a big fan. So we got this is actually a regular style Brussels sprout. Then back here we did a new one that we'll see what happens. I've never grown this variety, but it's a type of instead of a tight Brussels sprout, it opens up and it's like a little flower of kale almost. So it's like a little head of kale, and there'll be a ton of them going up the vine. There'll be just a ton of little kale plants. Here we're growing some different kinds of root vegetables. We got more of the Brussels sprouts, and then this is a celeriac, which is a root celery. We've done just trying it out, seeing how it works. We got a little okra growing here, not much, just put a few in. I didn't have much luck before when I grew some okra, so I just planted some to see how it would go. And then more cucumbers on these rows here, which are these I had some cucumber beetles that ate it all. So once those went away, I replanted it all. So these are a little smaller, just starting to sprout right now. These are all of our peppers. We've got different kinds of yellow bell, habanero, serranos, little over here we've got these are little it's supposed to turn red before it fell off, but probably from the storm last night it got knocked off. These are little pimento peppers. You'll see they get pretty decent size here, and they'll turn bright red and they're sweet. We'll probably use them in some salads and stuff like that. We got some of them got quite a few peppers on them. Doing pretty good with the peppers. They're a little small this year. Well, it's early. Right now it's as of now it's June 3rd. Then this is all of our sugar snap peas growing on this vine here. We've got 3 beds of sugar snap peas. And then once again we got the calites in growing. And then in front of it we got some, these are turnips, different kinds of turnips that we're growing here. And I'm going to use them for turnips and the turnip greens. So we'll be able to use both the turnips and the greens. I think this we didn't put anything in other than the sugar snap peas. This is all of our herbs. We've got a bunch of basil growing here. Basil kind of took a little bit of a beating. And then we've got some Thai basil, which needs to be snipped to get rid of the flowers. This is all sage, which we'll be able to use for different, I love like sauteed vegetables with, do some sauteed veggies, mix in some fresh sage into them. Really comes out really good. A little kosher salt, olive oil, really nice touch. Fresh oreganos. I think this is either oregano. This came back from last year. It might be actually marjoram. A little marjoram. More of the marjoram. And then here we've got mint. All sorts of what we planted in here. This is all mint. Most of this is mint. And then over here we've got some thyme growing in there. Thyme. At the other farm we got some thyme that came back up. Thyme usually comes back every year, but we had a tough winter, so a lot of my stuff that comes back did not come back this year. Over here is this is another thing that you can eat, both the greens and the leaves. This is a Mexican marigold, which is you can use the little flowers for decorating, and then the greens are also very edible. It's got kind of a licoricey kind of flavor. They call it mint, but I would say it's more on the licorice end of things. I like it. It's very tasty. It's not the most delicate green. It's kind of got some crunch to it. And then we got some chives growing. These will eventually spread out and, you know, maybe even take over this whole bed, which is fine by me. We'll just take all this out and move the fence and change it into something different. And then over here is this is our mustard greens, like a purple mustard green, which we'll be able to make like mixed greens and that kind of thing out of. And then over here, some collard greens. These beds we did kind of the square foot gardening, but we had so many storms. I think the seeds kind of moved around a little bit because you only plant them a little bit deep, and I think from the water they kind of moved where they weren't supposed to be, but they're still growing good. And then this is red romaine lettuce, and some remnants of last year's mustard greens are growing. I think this is actually a little mustard green that came back. We'll just kind of let that do its thing. Another little mustard green well here. This is oak leaf lettuce. This grows great. This will be there'll be nice big heads in about another week, 10 days, and then we'll a lot of these beds we'll be able to replant 3-4 times throughout the summer. So as soon as these are ready to get picked, we'll yank those out and replant new seeds. Back here is this is radicchio, which looks like it's going okay. It's like a two-tone radicchio. It's like a kind of green and purple color. If you're familiar with radicchio, normally it's like a little head of bright red, like cabbagey looking thing. But this is a little more of a combo of green and red. And that's it, guys. We're going to take you over to the other farm and give you a quick synopsis of what we got going on over there. Thanks. Hey guys, this is Chuck. Now I'm over at our Hickory location. This is an acre of property. We have a house that we rent out, and then we turn the rest of it into a small farm. This is all asparagus beds. These are this is the asparagus as they're coming up. This one's kind of gone to seed almost, but they're still edible at that point for me. I wouldn't feed you guys that one. Here's our asparagus here. They're ready to go. And they'll just kind of pop up as they come. On Friday I cut these all down to about 4 inches tall, and then some of them are already like 3.5, 4 feet. Then over here, we've got our some grapevines there, and then up top is two pear trees, one here and one on this side. And we usually get about 500 peaches or pears per tree, at least 400. And then we planted a couple of peach trees. They're doing okay, but they're not the greatest. We'll see. I'm not the greatest with the trees. And then over here we've got our all of our plastic mulch covered rows, and we've got a little bit of rhubarb growing here. It kind of surrounds the property with rhubarb, and then also some blueberry and raspberry bushes up in front. And then this is all row covers. Here we got all of our bigger crops, like we got some more Brussels sprouts, a bunch of basil, peppers, zucchinis, tomatoes, all sorts of melons and pumpkins and stuff that takes up a lot of room. And then the whole front of the property we did in corn. We put in about 1,200 stalks of corn, so we should get about 2,000 ears of corn out of that. And that's it. And I'll give you a little later on. I'll go over the whole place and kind of tell you what all we're growing. Thanks. Hey guys, so this is at our Hickory location. And what we're mainly growing here is most of our bigger crops, things that take up a lot of space and don't need a lot of care. Something we can kind of plant and not have to mess with it too often. Lettuces and stuff like that just take too much maintenance. So we do all those at our Darien location. Now here, this whole row here, we did these are purple cabbages, and then we've got some different kinds of peppers and basil in this row, and then this is all Brussels sprouts in the second row here. These are all zucchinis, which most of the stuff just got planted about 5 days or 6 days ago. And then what we've done was we plastic coated this with a plastic black mulch, and then you just cut a little hole in the top, put your plant through. That keeps moisture in, keeps the weeds out, and then we've taken newspaper and put it on the bottom between the rows, and then we covered it with this straw, and that'll keep most of the weeds out, so we don't have to do so much weeding. And then all these rows will be drip irrigated. We'll have a main line going down the front, and then each plant will have its own drip irrigation. You know, we don't have that many little plants, so that's where it works out really well here. Zucchinis and yellow squash in this row. We've got 3 rows of tomatoes that we did. These are all different kinds of tomatoes. We did mostly beefsteaks and yellow pear, little teardrop pear tomatoes. And then these are more peppers here. These are bell peppers we did, just for the heck of it. I usually don't have much luck with bell peppers, but I'm going to grow some anyway this year. Another whole row of peppers, more tomatoes. And then these are our butternut squash. We did butternut squash. We did a type of pie pumpkin. We did the 3 different kinds of sweet melons. So we did some cantaloupes, some French style, like little baby cantaloupes. They're supposed to be really sweet. And then also some kind of Korean kind of oblong shaped yellow melon. Kind of probably like almost like a Santa Claus style melon or something. And then in front here we did, in the front we did all of our corn. We put, like I said, we put in about 1,200 ears of corn. And then over here is our underground tank. We did, we had the whole place drip irrigated with all of our rainwater. So over here we got, this tank will hold 1,700 gallons of water. And what we did was we took the, you can take a quick peek inside there. So it's a big tank. Right now it's a little empty. We just drained it, and right now it's dripping in from the farm. So what we did was we basically surrounded the whole property with drainage. So it goes all the way around the whole garden, and then through the garden about 4 times through the garden, and it all tees back into the middle and then feeds into this tank. And then also from the house we have all the the gutters water feeding off the house into another drainage pipe that feeds right back into all goes back into this tank. And we get some pretty good production out of this tank. I mean, 1,700 gallons will get us about 2 waterings, especially when we go to drip irrigation. We should be able to get a pretty lot of, we should almost need to use hardly any fresh water. It should be a lot of rainwater, which makes it really sustainable. Saves us some money, and actually the plants like that better. It doesn't have all the, what are they putting it, chemicals and stuff to make it safe to drink. So it really works well. And that's basically it. Over here, if you look, we do a big compost pile. We skipped a year. This year we're going to try to get back into it a little more heavy. And that's basically the gist of this place. You know, so basically here we have all of our big crops. At Darien we have all of our lettuces, radishes, all of our stuff that needs a lot of maintenance. And that's it, guys. Thanks.